Hofstra, we have head coach Krista Kilburn-Staveski and junior guard Eliana Leon. We'll start with a statement from coach and then open up questions.
I mean, obviously, Elon came out and, showed what a number one team was about. I thought that we, handled it at the start, but I just obviously have to give them credit first. But definitely it was disappointing for us because we could have played a little bit better.
Questions?
Krista, how big was the 3 fouls?
That was brutal. I, try to stay above bar here. But when you have a baseline of 31 games and the player has never had 2,031 games, so, it is what it is. We understand those things we can't control, but that definitely didn't help our calls.
Did you sense that your team didn't respond well enough to some of that adversity you guys faced early, particularly with the 2 fouls early on tonight?
No, I think the second quarter, the start. So, I think Elon, obviously, being in the position they're in, would come out, we're battling with them in the first quarter, and then I think their second quarter was more like obviously what we expected with their defense intensity. We played them enough to know how they come out, and they usually come out just all over you. I think the second quarter, that's what started that, and we didn't respond. We were running our offense at half court. We got frustrated. It was 15-10, and the next thing it was 20-10. So there was a little bit of me having to coach effort and coaching some issues there where you're getting a little deflated, and then obviously we went several moments here. I don't know the exact number without scoring. So it's like but that's basketball, right? So the leadership on the floor needed to be a lot better.
Coach, the final career games for Sydney Epps, Crystal Luciano, and Sandra Dongmo. Can you just talk about how they played in this game and just your overall thoughts on their careers?
Well, I mean, Sydney Epps has always been, to me, the most emotional leader. I have told her time and time again, and this one sitting next to me, that I don't understand why everybody doesn't play for you. Because I would play like a maniac if I was playing with her on the team, because she just instills so much goodwill. And so it's mind-boggling how, people just couldn't completely rally around that the entire year, because she just gives you 100% effort. And as a coach, that's just a dream. And, I've had a chance to reflect with her and all the seniors on senior day and with their parents being there. So it's just really easy to talk about that. And that's why these two people were on the floor at the end of the game. So, and I mean, Sandra Dongmo, she tries to give her best with a limited amount of basketball she's played in her career. And, obviously, I know she wanted to do more today. And then Crystal, you can always see when she's leading the pack, we're pretty special. And sometimes when the frustration comes in and she had to handle it on her own with Navy and out, it just gets frustrated. But they've had, a bright spot in their career, and especially Sid, who's been here for 5 years too, and Crystal, but especially Sid, who had a tough freshman year. To be able to have the last few years that she's had the run we had last year, it was a lot brutal to all three of them, but to hang their head on, about what they've done in Hofstra and the history for them. And so those try to focus on that during a tough time, but they definitely have a lot to be proud of.
Coach, what is Elon able to do so well defensively that can create fits for teams?
Yeah, I mean, the things that you can't see sometimes with your eyes. I mean, it's just as much deflections and contacts that they have. It's not as many clean attacks to the basket. They scored 40 points in the paint. We didn't answer to that. We didn't handle that toughness there early. We got a little deflated with that. So that was a tough stat line. You see the rebounding. It's 39-33, but the times that we needed those rebounds, it seemed like we did a good defensive possession and then they got it back. Those are the blows that you're already struggling on offense. You get a good chance to get that ball and then it gets knocked down, kind of gets an Elon bounce. But kudos to them. They have everybody kind of on all cylinders defensively, and so that's what they do. I mean, they're long. I talk about them being balanced inside and out. They're athletic. They put a lot of pressure on the ball. So and the deflections, I think, make a big difference because you don't get clean attacks.
Aliana, similar question. What's Elon able to do when you guys are on offense and they're on defense that makes it so difficult as a player on the floor?
I guess go said it all, but adding a little bit more. I mean, they're so aggressive, and sometimes, I thought we were ready for that because we played them 2 times before, but it's just the aggressiveness that they had, and then we're not able to see everything our tactic out how we wanted.
Coach, I know it's a little tough now, but you kind of feel like you guys have kind of made some strides this year as a program.
I think that The ending with this young lady having 22, Ana Hernandez and Hill and Marianne Callan being two freshmen who scored 20 points yesterday. So I think you take a look at those folks. We have a couple of things in our arsenal back home that'll be on the floor, but have been practicing with us. But you think about those bright spots, and I think we kind of ended today a little bit about our inconsistency, what we had throughout the season. But I think there's definitely, when you have a chance to really reflect back, the positive pieces. And yesterday definitely was having some freshmen get some on the court experience in a CAA tournament. That stuff is invaluable. And just other folks that are just going to have to step up like crazy in the offseason that have the ability. They definitely didn't show it as much this season. But Carson today, that kid is one of my best defenders. Sandra Carson, the one from Finland, so she's going to be a huge impact. So to answer your question, there definitely are. It's always hard as you ask that question. It's always hard when you're coming off of a loss to kind of reflect. But I think that's the epitome of Aliana today. Of what she's going to do and help for us for next season for sure. That was a great plus for today.
Thanks, Aliana. I mean, similar question. I mean, what can you guys as players take from this season and build on looking into next year?
More experience for sure. Now the freshmen are going to be sophomore, more experience, coaches counting on them. And yeah, get ready, spring, summer, and then next season.
Aliana, obviously not the result overall that you wanted, but fantastic game for your career high, 22 points. What were you doing that was working in this game?
Keep shooting. And
Hustling.
Justin, Coach Gray trusts a lot of me and my ability to play hard along with my teammates. So, yeah.
Great, thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.